Everybody, alright, this is going to be a short one here because I got some lunch waiting on me, but let's get into a little bit of political ruck-a-ruck here. Sorry about that. I'm trying to be conscious of saying and that sort of thing. I want to say less of that because it's like dead space when you're speaking. So I'm sure I'm going to make a lot of mistakes in this video, but let's get into it. So everybody is pretty much saturated with the story of Kavanaugh and Blasey Ford and that whole shebang. Also with Rosenstein. So okay, so now they're saying that Trump is like backpedaling or backing off of the idea of firing Rosenstein. And mind you, he hasn't come out and said, I'm going to fire this guy. But look at what's happened. Rosenstein gets busted, totally busted, trying to pull off a coup against Trump, right? A soft coup, okay. So, and now Trump's just going to let that go? It's like with the Kavanaugh thing, right? Kavanaugh is standing his ground. Kavanaugh is like, I didn't do any such thing. I never would do any such thing. I want this, he wants the truth to come out, it sounds like. But it's all a political stunt. Now, can you imagine if Blasey Ford somehow was found to be credible, okay, and it came out, like, let's just pretend that if they ever do have a hearing and it's not a trial, there's nothing's going to come of it. It's not a situation where a judge makes a ruling and finds anyone guilty. Although, in my opinion, I think if after the hearing Blasey Ford is found to be totally without merit in her claims, then she ought to be slewed for slander and defamation. She ought to be sued for slander and defamation. But they're not going to do that. I mean, are you kidding? They wouldn't ever even approach slapping her on the wrist. Not so much as a slap on the wrist. You watch. Nothing's going to happen to her. So, but let's imagine in some alternate universe that she is found to be credible and that Kavanaugh is determined to have had some sexual misconduct in his past, and it's corroborated and confirmed, and he loses the SCOTUS appointment, right? What would happen? The Democratic Party would not just cheer, rah, 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 rah. They'd take over the SCOTUS. Then from there, they'd take over the Senate and the House. And Trump wouldn't get reelected. The Democratic Party would be in control again. And they'd undo everything that Trump is trying to do, whether it's good or bad, right? Doesn't matter. It's just because it's Trump. So if Trump is trying to feed the hungry children, they would deliberately yank that food out of those hungry children's mouths, all while crying and screaming that our democracy is at stake because we don't care for the children. It's all about the children. Okay, I've gone down that track before, but but imagine that Kavanaugh loses the nomination and Blasey Ford is hailed as a hero. The Democratic Party would send this country on a downward spiral, shred the Constitution, destroy the Bill of Rights, and they think, I mean, that's my impression, is that these people are so stupid that they think that Blasey Ford would go down in history as a hero. No, she wouldn't, and not in the minds of the general American public. She'd be touted as somebody who helped collapse this country, right? I mean, I would think that she would be somebody that made up this story. Well, I think she's making it up. And then there's the other idea that, okay, because human memory is faulty, that maybe something could happen. Maybe she is telling the truth as far as she knows. I don't buy it. I think she knows full well she's lying. Unless we're going to get into some MK Ultra shit here, which, I mean, okay, fine, there's the slimmest of all possibilities, but come on now. So it's the same thing with Rosenstein. I mean, the Democratic Party thinks that if he had gotten away with it, that he'd be hailed as a hero in the eyes of the American public. No, he wouldn't. No, he wouldn't. He tried to pull off a coup. And now Trump is supposedly backpedaling, thinking, okay, saying, well, backing away from the idea of firing Rosenstein. Now, if that's really what's going on, I think Trump's got them by the balls, frankly, because you don't cross Trump and Trump say, oh wow, well, okay, I forgive you, and move on. Let's everybody move on. No, that's not Trump. I'm sorry. If anything, Trump is backpedaling on the idea of firing Rosenstein for a publicity stunt, as a political stunt. And you watch, after midterms, assuming that Kavanaugh keeps his nomination and winds up on the SCOTUS, after midterms, guess what Trump's going to do? Rosenstein's going to hear those famous words, "You're fired." I can almost guarantee you, I'd be very, very surprised if that didn't happen. So it just seems to me that the Democrats are now living wholeheartedly in an alternate universe, one that they wish were a reality, one that they're pretending is a reality, but everybody knows it's not. It's a circus show. It's all smoke and mirrors. So for Trump to come out and be like, yeah, backing away from the idea of firing Rosenstein. I mean, it's like the greatest joke. To me, it's a great big joke. And same with Kavanaugh and Ford. Kavanaugh's in the bag. He's going to wind up on the SCOTUS unless somehow the Democrats are able to pull off some sort of, I don't know. What tricks do they have up their sleeve? They haven't got any tricks. Oh, racism. That's about the only card they play nowadays. Racism and deviant sexual behavior. Now, you notice, Kaepernick, got endorsed by Nike. I don't know how Nike's stocks are doing right now. I mean, I'm hearing conflicting stories on that. But, Mr. Take-a-knee in a football game in uniform started this whole, while wearing socks with depicting cops as pigs, little cartoon pigs. Is he ever going to, are a bunch of women ever going to come out and accuse him of sexual misconduct or sexual deviancy? Oh, no. No, you know why? Because that dude chops wood and carries water for the Democratic Marxists and socialists. He fits right in line with their agenda. But you notice that the men that don't fit in line with the Democratic Party's agenda of shredding the Constitution and destroying the Bill of Rights and sending this country on a downward spiral, guess what happens to them? Yeah, they all get accused of some sort of sexual deviancy or malicious practice or behavior. And if it's not that, then it's racism. So, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think, but those are my predictions. Kavanaugh's going to wind up on the SCOTUS. Rosenstein's going to be fired in spectacular fashion, and I can't wait to see it. So, hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.